Coming up on AgweekTV, we're talking renewable fuels at the Evolution Ag Summit in Jamestown, North Dakota. We'll see how a freeze in federal money is affecting some farm programs. The North Dakota Supreme Court makes a decision that could affect ag water projects across the state. And a Midwest author writes a series of children's books about life as a ranch dog. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. This week we're at the Evolution Ag Summit in Jamestown, North Dakota. It's put on by the North Dakota Farmers Union and centers around renewable fuels. The event features keynote speakers, panels, and answers many questions about renewable fuels in the ag industry. How is the renewable fuel industry impacting farmers? Jenny Schlecht has more.
Thanks, Emily. I'm here with Ryan Peterson, a Rolette County, North Dakota farmer. And Ryan, tell me a little about why it's so important for you to learn about renewable fuels and all the policy surrounding them.
You know, renewable fuels has been around for a number of decades now, but it really continues to evolve, whether the way the tax system and the incentives work and what is expected of farmers. So as we move into probably what I would call generation 3, maybe if you would, of renewable fuels, and we start implementing some things about climate and carbon reduction, it's important to hear from what our industry partners are expecting of us, and it's also important for us to share with our industry partners what as producers we're able to provide them and kind of some of the programs and incentivizing systems we need to make those changes on our farm.
And what are some things that you want them to know about what is possible today and what you can comply with and maybe what you can't?
I think North Dakota has some unique challenges. As we're standing here today, it's 25 degrees below zero. So we have a different environment than an Illinois farmer or a Missouri farmer. So I think some of the nationwide policies handcuff what we can do. And I think though that we get shortchanged in a bit in some of our strengths, such as crop rotation. You know, the average North Dakota farmer has a lot more crops within their farming system than in Illinois or Missouri.
And there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding things like 45Z tax credit and a lot of other regulations right now. Do you have any advice for what the industry needs to do to support farmers?
You know, the greatest strength of the renewable fuels industry is we have multiple products. We have ethanol, we have biodiesel, renewable diesel, SAF, multiple feedstocks, whether it's corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower is not there yet, canola oil. So that's our strength, but that's also a challenge because as we come into these uncertain times, each one of those groups kind of wants to make sure that they self-preserve. And when we do that, we don't always look at the big pictures.
Thanks for joining us today. Ryan Peterson of Rolette County, North Dakota.
Thanks, Jenny. The ongoing withholding of federal funds for the U.S. Department of Agriculture is putting a halt to emerging farmer groups in Minnesota. The food group based in New Hope had a contract with the USDA's American Rescue Plan, but it has been suspended. It's to ensure equitable participation in a number of USDA programs and services for underserved farmers and hungry people.
So for us, that means getting food out today through our anti-hunger work and our affordable grocery work, but it also means change for tomorrow. So how do we set up a more robust local food system and support emerging farmers? And how do we do some advocacy to make sure that folks have the resources to get the land and food that they want and deserve?
Lenars Coy says the loss of funding is devastating to the small organizations they work with, especially since it was so abrupt there was little time to prepare. Water issues go back pretty much as far as people have been farming. They take a variety of forms from irrigation to dikes and diversions. And in many cases, there are winners and losers in water projects. For this week's Ag Week cover story, Mikkel Pates has been working on the long and complicated story of a drain ditch in southeast North Dakota. The case went all the way to the state Supreme Court and could affect many of those people involved in this case.
What happens when the North Dakota Supreme Court agrees with you that your illegal drain project is illegal, but the county assesses you for it anyway?
It was originally installed in 1919.
Paul Matthews' family has farmed along Drain 11 for decades. It's a 45-mile-long system of drain ditches built by pioneers to manage water and make the land farmable. The Drain 11 ditch system dumps water into the Wild Rice River which empties into the Red River just south of Fargo. For nearly a century, Drain 11 quietly did its job, but about a decade ago, the Sargent County Water Resource District Board went ahead with a project to widen and improve the first 10 miles. They completed 4.5 miles.
The ditch is undersized for the public expectation of what a ditch should perform at.
But here's where it gets a little sticky. Matthews and other landowners thought the project was improperly split into phases and required a vote. They lost court cases on technicalities and then won when the water board sued them to use eminent domain to acquire land to widen the ditch. It's been a long and complicated legal battle because of the number of parties involved. Lyle Bope, a Sargent County commissioner and former county attorney, believed the project, and others like it, needed to go to a public vote before acquiring a bond.
When I suggested they take it to a public vote, he said it cost too much money. Well, I think in the long run, it cost them about 4 times that kind of money.
Ultimately, the state Supreme Court said projects like this need to start with a landowner vote. And now the North Dakota legislature has been working on a number of bills to fix the Drain 11 case and are studying ways to avoid situations like this in the future.
I'm not saying, and no one is saying, we shouldn't have drains in North Dakota. But if you're going to ask landowners to pay for that drain, we have a rule in this state that they get to vote on it.
In Foreman, North Dakota, this is Mikkel Pates for AgWeek.
You can read much more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. When AgweekTV continues from the Evolution Ag Summit, we'll have an update on a controversial dairy coming to North Dakota.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, affordable health insurance, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries.
But maybe don't.
You could plant your field by hand.
But maybe don't?
You could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank.
But maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let us prove the difference.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
Introducing the all-new Vatterstadt Tempo K24, designed and built in the U.S. It combines capacity with superior precision, even at very high speeds. With PowerShoot technology that uses positive air pressure to take full control of the seed from the meter all the way down to the soil, using no belts, motors, or brushes. Start your journey to outstanding emergence. Pre-order your Tempo K today.
A slowdown in machinery sales doesn't mean tractor tech advancements are slowing down. Depressed commodity prices, high interest rates, and a host of uncertainties about the year ahead mean new tractors and equipment are not selling as fast as they were a few years ago during better crop prices. But the vice president of large and compact tractors at Case New Holland says farmers are still interested in tech in maintaining the equipment they already have.
Especially in times when the commodity prices are down where they are, the amount of dispensable income is a lot less, and so people may not be buying the machines like they usually are. When they do, that machine needs to work.
Data from the Association of Equipment Manufacturers shows new tractor sales were down almost 16% in January from January 2024. The hit is even bigger for large tractors over 100 horsepower, which are down nearly 27%. Riverview Dairy has some big plans for the state of North Dakota, but have been met with some roadblocks. I spoke with some Riverview employees to find out more.
We're really excited about our involvement in North Dakota.
Riverview LLP has dairies dotted across the Midwest and Southwest regions of the country, but now they have their sights set on North Dakota. They currently have 2 proposed builds, one in Hillsboro and the other near Abercrombie, but they have been met with some pushback and concerns from local residents. After the Department of Environmental Quality approved Riverview's dairy permit on January 3rd, the North Dakota Resource Council and Abercrombie Township residents filed a notice of appeal in Burleigh County Court on February 3rd.
The same 2 topics, I would say manure and water, and those are 2 things that if mismanaged are a concern, so that's valid. And so again, we would just help people understand the manure management plan, how the state regulates manure, that runoff is not an option, water contamination, how the wells are regulated and how water usage is monitored.
Another question on many people's minds is how will Riverview be able to staff these 2 dairies in the state, which have almost 40,000 head of cattle combined? When asked about worries on finding labor with the new administration taking office and their immigration policies, Riverview stated they aren't worried.
We use the TN visa, which is a professional work visa, and we use the H-2A visa, which is more of 9 months out of the year, more of a farming visa. So it should be just fine.
Riverview Dairy had no comment on the ongoing lawsuit. Cover crops and herbicides can work together for weed control and even against some of those harder to fight weeds. But some pre-emergence herbicides can cause issues to cover crops, so it's important to understand that when determining when you want to plant the cover crops.
They need to think about, is that herbicide going to negatively impact the establishment of that cover crop? For example, some of our really good corn herbicides are going to kill anything that's interseeded. So we need to be thinking about this holistically. And
Smith says if a producer is going to harvest the cover crop for forage value, they also need to follow the rotation restriction. Ahead on AgweekTV, how is the renewable fuels industry being impacted by policy? We'll find out.
Whether you are a farmer moving a single piece, a contractor updating your fleet, or a large dealer needing to liquidate assets, Dagger Machinery will come to you and handle every step of the process.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brand does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of brand products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop. You're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota Ag Bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
Looking to add non-GMO conventional and organic soybeans to your rotation this year? Soyco International out of Gary, Minnesota is looking for new farmer contracts for the 2025 season. They have proven marketing strategies, partnered with local agronomy expertise to work alongside and provide the certified seeds needed for their contract growers. Soyco International is offering premium prices to boost your operations bottom line. Reach out to Sean Young today at 218-350-3863 to answer any questions.
Winter is here, and so are the savings. At Gateway Building Systems, take advantage of limited-time winter discounts on Brock solid grain bins, built to protect your harvest and your bottom line. Need immediate assistance? Our expert millwrights crews are available now to handle your repairs and upgrades. Schedule your pre-season checkup today. Don't wait. Lock in your winter discounts. Call Gateway Building Systems at 1-800-747-4499.
AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
What's in store for the region when it comes to weather? Here's Lydia with our AgriWeather Outlook.
2 words for you: pattern shift. Bringing a huge turnaround in our forecast, in our temperatures specifically, as we head into the next week. It's all the jet stream, the big player when it comes to weather making. The jet stream drives your low pressure systems, which then indicates who and where is getting precip and wind and all of those weather ingredients. Now, when the jet stream drops to your south, it tends to bring in colder air. And that's where we have been stuck for the past couple of weeks. All this cold Canadian Hudson Bay air worked its way down to the south, and a lot of us were stuck below zero, even for your daytime highs throughout the course of the last week. That had kept us very quiet, though, because the jet stream was to our south. It kept a lot of the snow and the rain and even severe weather down to our south. Places like Kentucky had a big severe weather outbreak last week. There's been lots of flooding. There's been snows in the northern parts of Alabama, places that aren't used to dealing with that kind of weather, especially this time of year. So we've been quiet, just cold. Now we get the shift. What happens is that the jet stream, which you can see kind of with these wind arrows here, starts to make a bump, a ridge, and that allows warmer weather from the south-southwest to work its way up into the northern plains. We'll see a big boost in temperatures thanks to this simple shift in the jet stream. And the colder air starts to work its way off to the east and actually fades away. Warmest weather looks to be about Monday, Tuesday of the coming week, and then we slowly settle things down, getting closer to average as we turn the calendar from February into March. You can see more of those blues working their way in. Yes, a cool down, but not a sharp, sudden, or sub-zero turn in your temperatures. I don't have anything that bitter cold as we go into March. Here's kind of my game plan for about the next week, the last week of February, with those much warmer than average temperatures. We're looking at 30s and 40s for the northern parts. The southern parts, 40s and even 50s will be possible, especially as you chip away at the snowpack. You do melting of the snow that's out there. That will allow your temperature to grow a little bit each day, getting less and less snow on the ground. I'm also going to watch out for some small precip chances. In the first week of March, we will cool down. Slightly above average for some of us, or closer to average temperatures, which for many of us means about the 20s. Not terrible, not sub-zero, but cooler than this little spring tease that we're getting here as we head into next week. Here's the overall layout, again, with that big bump in the jet stream that we just talked about. A lot of the western United States going to be above average when it comes to your temperatures. With the jet stream sitting over us, then, that brings in chances for a little bit of moisture. I don't see any super soakers, but a little bit of moisture here to finish out February, not out of the question. With mild temperatures, could be a little bit of rain and could mix in with a little snow as temperatures turn colder overnight. Then now we're headed into March, and we'll watch out for that cool down to kind of work its way in. Slightly below average temperatures through portions of Minnesota, further out to the west, slightly above average.
Looking to add non-GMO conventional and organic soybeans to your rotation this year? Soyco International out of Gary, Minnesota is looking for new farmer contracts for the 2025 season. They have proven marketing strategies, partnered with local agronomy expertise to work alongside and provide the certified seeds needed for their contract growers. Soyco International is offering premium prices to boost your operation's bottom line. Reach out to Sean Young today at 218-350-3863 to answer any questions.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, affordable health insurance, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop. You're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently. giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota Ag Bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
At OK Tire, we're here to keep you going, whether you're in the field or on the job site. From heavy-duty replacement tracks and conversion systems, planters to power sports, we have the right solution to tackle every working condition. We even offer a free, no-obligation undercarriage inspection to ensure your equipment is ready to roll. With expert installation and premium brands, OK Track Solutions is here to keep your operation on track. Winter is here, and so are the savings. At Gateway Building Systems, take advantage of limited-time winter discounts on Brock solid grain bins, built to protect your harvest and your bottom line. Need immediate assistance? Our expert millwrights crews are available now to handle your repairs and upgrades. Schedule your pre-season checkup today. Don't wait. Lock in your winter discounts. Call Gateway Building Systems at 1-800-747-4499.
Welcome back to AgweekTV. Joining me now is Ann Steckel with the National Farmers Union. And what is going on in the policy world when it comes to renewable fuels?
Well, we've got a lot going on in the policy world right now when it comes to renewable fuels. Some of the biggest policies that impact renewable fuels are the Renewable Fuel Standard and the implementation of tax credits that were in the Inflation Reduction Act, like 45Z. So a lot of moving piece parts at a really exciting and dynamic time in D.C.
What is the outlook for 45Z?
A very good question. We are feeling optimistic because some interim guidance was released prior to the Biden administration leaving office. And so now it's really up to the Trump administration to implement and redo that guidance. And so we're working very closely with this new administration to talk about how important it is that climate smart ag practices receive the right amount of crediting, because what happens in D.C. really affects our farmers on the ground, and that's why it's so important.
You mentioned the Trump administration. It has re-entered the White House. How has that impacted the outlook of renewable fuels?
Well, there's certainly a lot of uncertainty about how the policies will be administered, but previously the Trump administration was supportive of biofuels, and we know that they are continue to be supportive of it. And so we're just working with all of the new political appointees and the new folks within the administration to bring them up to speed on a lot of the activities that have been happening, from year-round sales of E15 to the Renewable Fuel Standard, kind of the next wave, and the volumes and how we feel like those should look. So a lot of education efforts right now.
Absolutely. And when looking at renewable fuels, what are some of the obstacles that industry has to overcome?
Well, certainly we are working very closely to ensure alignment and moving forward with the Trump administration, talking about how we are a domestic product. This is part of the whole American energy dominance that this administration is focused a lot on. And so we really provide that opportunity right here in the U.S.
It really is an interesting industry, and I look forward to following it. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ann.
Thanks for having me. It was my pleasure.
Ann Steckel, National Farmers Union. Still ahead from the Evolution Ag Summit in Jamestown, North Dakota. A series of kids' books features a working ranch dog.
Whether you are a farmer moving a single piece, a contractor updating your fleet, or a large dealer needing to liquidate assets, Dagger Machinery will come to you and handle every step of the process.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries,
but maybe don't.
You could plant your field by hand,
but maybe don't?
You could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank,
but maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let us prove the difference.
We offer the full lineup of brand products. Big ones are going to be your conveyors, your land rollers, grain carts, high-speed discs. Those are going to be the very popular ones that we see out in the countryside and we like to have on hand here at all times.
Brent does a really good job of supporting the products and providing the parts on time and when you need them. For a full line of Brent products, give us a call at 701-361-4790 or visit our website at northstar-ag.com.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Protect your wheels from wear, tear, and debris obstruction with the patented Gauge Wheel Protection System from Jung Enterprise, Inc.
It's steel on steel, so there's no friction like you have with rubber, so it turns much easier.
The steel ring also acts as a scraper, preventing spoked wheels from getting plugged in the mud and the lip of the tire from getting worn away.
It's made such a big difference. I don't have near the issues anymore.
Reduce downtime and extend the life of your tires. Contact Jung Enterprise, Inc. today.
Ranch dogs are an essential part of many operations, and one author is helping to share a ranch dog story with children across the country. Ariana Schumacher introduces us to the man behind the Rhodey the Ranch Dog series.
I knew when I finally did do this, I'd make a book for like ranch kids like I was when I was a kid.
Cartooning has always been a passion for Scott Haynes. He grew up on a ranch in Saco, Montana with his ranch dog Roper, the inspiration for the main character of his children's book series, Rhodey the Ranch Dog.
I'm a dog guy, and I love ranch dogs and farm dogs and just dogs in general, so I knew my main character was going to be a dog. I always liked the dog in the back of the pickup, and I always did that with our dogs, and I always thought that was kind of funny.
Each of the 7 Rhodey the Ranch Dog books follows Rhodey on his different adventures. The latest one teaches kids the importance of respecting and learning from your elders.
That number 7 just came out this summer. So that one's still pretty fresh.
His goal is to make the stories accurate while also not making it hard for kids to understand who don't have an agricultural background.
So maybe if they see these books, they'll go, well, what's this mean and what's this? And maybe they'll look into ag a little more. But also give my farm and ranch kids something they can go, I know what this is.
The series has been a part of many kids' childhoods.
This young man came up to me, it was a couple days ago, and he's about 6'3". Right, and he's kind of got a little mustache. He's probably 14, 15 years old. And he walks by and goes, hey, I've been reading these books since I was a kid. I love these books, and thanks for making them. And these are my favorite books when I was little.
Haynes says it's a great reminder to him that his books have an impact.
I'm always trying to get a new book out and still trying to make it and all that stuff. You kind of forget that kids are reading these and enjoying them. So sometimes I have to slow down and be like, okay, we're good, Kids like them. That's all that matters.
In Rapid City, South Dakota, this is Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
Along with the Rhodey the Ranch Dog series, Haynes also co-authored the Ace the Bison series, which focuses on wildlife. Thanks for joining us this week from the Evolution Ag Summit in Jamestown, North Dakota. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.